Hey, so what's going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and if you ever thought that I was going to be in front of the camera reviewing a mobile game, well, that's actually kind of impressive because I never thought I'd be doing that. But also, I never thought this outfit that I'm wearing, would ever be so relevant to a topic I was talking about. And that is going to be Pokemon Go. I'm going to be talking about my experiences with it, and I'm going to be reviewing the app. Now, just so you all know, there's not going to be any actual in-game footage with this because, one, I really haven't bothered to capture any footage off my phone or try to, and two, because of Nintendo's totalitarian ways of stuff on YouTube here, I'd rather just not show any footage from the game, to be honest. But hopefully my thoughts will help out with that. Now, first off, in case you've been living under a rock, what is Pokemon Go? Pokemon Go is a free app that is available for iOS and Android devices. Essentially, you download it, it ends up using your GPS location, so you have to use location services, and then at that point, you are able to literally walk around the real life world, and then you can capture Pokemon. You can go to Pokestops, or you can go there, and you can end up replenishing things such as items like eggs that you have that you can hatch. You can get Pokeballs from there, potions for your Pokemon, and also there are gyms where once you are a level 5, you can join a team which is Valor, Instinct, or Mystic, and then you can go and join up a gym. Like, you can take over a gym, or you could train at a gym that you already have access to if your team has already had control of that. Now, that is it from a very basic perspective. Getting a little bit more deeper into it, when you are walking around, there's going to be Pokestops, of course, if you are in a certain area, and all of these stops are directly related to all the nodes that were in a former game by Niantic called Ingress. Ingress had a lot of stops and places and nodes that you could submit, and then they would get added into the game eventually later on. All those nodes were ported over to Pokemon Go and take place in the form of Pokestops, where, as I said, you go there and then you can replenish all your supplies or get a few there, and after a few minutes it comes back up. As you walk around as well too, you can also get Pokemon, where then you select one, and if you choose to use the AR or augmented reality feature on your phone, you can use your camera and you can literally see the Pokemon there in real life and you can try and get it. And that is pretty simplistic as well too. You see the Pokemon, you have a Pokeball, you try and throw it there and get it, and you could also use other things such as raspberries or great balls or ultra balls or anything of the sort. That sounds so weird to say out loud. You can use anything of the sort to try and capture that Pokemon. Then once you get it, you have it in your inventory, it goes into your index, and from there you can either power up the Pokemon, release it, which gives you some candy, or you can use some candy to evolve your Pokemon if you choose to, but you have to collect and you have to transfer quite a bit, and it just depends on a whole lot of things there. Now, at that point, I think I've pretty much covered everything aside from the battle system. The battle system, the only time you really do it is you battle at gyms. So if your team controls a gym that you go to, you can go there and you can train, or if you get it to a high enough level, you can deposit a Pokemon in there that will kind of control the gym for you until another team comes over and eventually takes that over. The battle system here is extremely simple. You have your Pokemon, it goes against another Pokemon, and you can dodge out of the way or you can attack, and then once you build up a bit of a stamina meter of some kind, you can then release a powerful attack upon that other Pokemon, and then if you win, you can start, knocking down health for the gym, or if it's your own gym and you're training, you can then level up that gym as well too, so it is harder for other people to take down. Now, aside from that, the game itself is pretty basic. As I said, the fighting is pretty basic. You go around to a few nodes, you can collect Pokemon, and then it has its fair share of faults as well too. I've noticed within an hour of playing the game, the app just breaks, and it could be within either a minute or about 45 minutes in. Sometimes you might try and load up something and the game will freeze, or you might not be able to catch a Pokemon properly, or you might not be able to touch anything on your screen, and then that means you have to go in and exit out of the game and launch it and go in again. And whether that determines, whether that's a thing with the application itself or your phone or the servers, because the servers are getting slammed here, it really depends on what's going on. It's kind of a combination of the three at this point, unfortunately. Also, I myself am an Android user, obviously, from this, and the game's not that good on Android, to be honest. It heats up a ton as well, too. It eats up battery, and now everyone's going to complain about that, but here's the thing. I have several friends on iOS who have not had as bad of issues. Yes, they've had their phones get a little bit warm, they've had it be a battery sucker, but, your phone is not burning up in your hand. So one thing I would recommend if you're going to play this game for a long period of time is to get an external power bank so you could charge your phone on the go. The thing is with this game as well is that there is a battery saver mode where if you kind of keep your phone upside down in a way, then the screen kind of just fades to black, and it saves your screen a little bit, like it saves your battery a bit. But then there's also some other glitches in game where most of the time I notice if I have battery saver enabled, then I go back to the game itself, I can't actually touch anything and I have to quit out of the app and then get back into it. So when you're playing the game, you have to have it on and you have to have your screen available right there. You cannot be backgrounding it or anything of the sort, and because of that, it really runs down your battery. Now, of course, the spiritual precursor to this game, Ingress, was also another game that relied heavily on your screen, on your GPS, having those types of battles, and just, you know, being a overall battery sucker. The thing is with that, I mean, there's times where I'm playing Pokemon Go, I'm like, my game should not be lagging this hard, and my phone should not feel like something that's on fire in my hand. I'm only exaggerating a tiny bit there as well too, which is the scary part. But the real nice thing about Pokemon Go does not come from the application itself, or the Poke Battles, or taking over the gyms, or collecting new Pokemon. It doesn't come from any of that. It comes from the actual experience and actually going outside to play this game. And the reason why I've been so hooked on this game is because the point of it is to go outside and to go and walk. One of the things, for example, it really promotes is walking, because there are eggs that you can get. So you can collect eggs, you can put them in an incubator and hatch them, and then depending on the egg, you have to walk a certain amount of kilometers to hatch it, and from there, you can get some Pokemon and you get experience and other things of the sort. So it encourages you to do that. It also encourages you to go out and explore, and it's even more fun when you're with friends. As I said, one of my favorite moments was the first time I went to a local park around here, and I saw the park full of people, full of at least 100 to 150 people, and probably 90% of them were on their phones playing Pokemon Go and interacting with these people as well too, just striking up a conversation with others, kind of getting into a group, discussing the Pokemon you've gotten, see what's going on. It's been great. There's been other times, you know, I've gone Pokemon hunting with friends and we've driven around different places, we've taken over gyms. That's been fun as well too. Another one of my favorite opportunities was when I went over to a park and I was wearing a Splatoon type shirt. I'm not wearing it right now, but there was a couple that was there and they had 3 kids, and the kids freaked out when they saw my shirt and they started talking to me, so I'm trying to catch a Pokeball and they weren't bugging me, it was fine. But then they're telling me, they're just like, oh yeah, you know, my mom started playing this game and she was playing it a little bit before my dad, but then my dad started playing it as well too, but he's a lower level, and then my mom, she got a Pikachu as a starter character. And I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. And then, you know, you could see the parents, they were smiling and everything. They're like, okay, hey, okay, come back. Hey, just leave him alone. It's fine. Like, they're getting distracted with it as well too. The problem is it becomes a little bit too much of a distraction at times. It's not really the app's fault, honestly. It's more human characteristics. Like, for example, if you are getting out of your car in the middle of the road to run over to catch a Geodude or something, that's not the game's fault. That is your fault for being stupid. And for God's sake, I'm just gonna make this PSA. Please, for the love of God, don't skateboard in Pokemon Go. Don't rollerblade in Pokemon Go. Don't bike in Pokemon Go. Don't drive in Pokemon. Do not operate any type of rolling vehicle or rolling object of some kind and play Pokemon Go, because then you're just putting everyone else in danger. One of my friends the other night, when I went out Pokemon hunting with him, I yelled at him because there were multiple times he's driving the car and playing Pokemon Go. Not only is putting himself at risk, he put 3 other people in the car at risk, and he was putting everyone else on the road at risk that he was in contact with. Another night I went to the park as well too. There was a kid who was on his bike and biking around playing Pokemon Go, and this kid was swerving all over the place like he was drunk. And again, I cannot blame these instances on the app. It's not the game's fault, it's human nature, so you gotta control yourself. So please, just do it for me, do it for everyone else around you. Just be cautious and be careful and be smart about playing Pokemon Go. Also, I would not recommend playing Pokemon Go at night. Just use your same type of judgment you would in the real world. Would you go down a dark alleyway that's really creepy in a city part of town at 1 in the morning? No. So don't do it while playing Pokemon Go, and that's the best way to do it. So overall, I'm gonna give this game 2 types of ratings. Right now, in case you don't know, I don't do a 1 to 10 scale. I do, you know, a different type of scale where I say I recommend it, I don't recommend it, whatever it is. And the game itself, Pokemon Go, the app itself, it's okay. In fact, it might not even be okay. It's like, it's Like, it's okay at best. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that are writing their hate comments already and they're disliking the video. But I'm gonna say this, I still absolutely recommend the game, and I think it's probably my favorite game I've played this year. You know why? Because the app itself, it's buggy, it's broken, it's basic, there's a lot of things that we were promised that we have not gotten yet. And by the way, one thing with the microtransactions, there are microtransactions, but you can easily play the game without paying for anything, which is awesome. The reason why I highly recommend this game is 1, it's free, 2, it's extremely accessible to anyone, even if you don't like games or Pokemon, and 3, the dynamic that comes from it, just from going out into the world, meeting new people, going to different types of meetups, is what makes it so great. You are now seeing people become united over these teams. You're seeing people just communicate with one another, go to all these different parts of town, check out parks, stop playing games. Like, I'm gonna show you this real quick. Recently, there's been a few video games I've been playing, and some of them include The Last of Us Remastered, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. And to be honest, I really haven't been touching them recently. You know why? Because I would rather go outside and play Pokemon for 2 hours than stay inside where it's air conditioned and sit on my couch and play these games. I can't even really focus on these as easily anymore because I would rather be outside doing something, meeting other people, hanging out, having a fun time, doing that. And this came out at the best time. Not only it came out during the summer and it's just taken everything by storm, but honestly, they couldn't really help this because the release dates, nobody saw this coming. But honestly, with all the bad stuff that's been happening in the world, with all the shootings, with all the terrorist attacks and all that, it's so nice to see, just go to a park, you see a ton of people all united, having fun, laughing, just hanging out for the same reason, playing Pokemon Go, and it brings a smile to your face. And in times where just the world is really dark and depressing, it is beautiful to see something like that. It is bringing life to things outside, and it is awesome. And to some people that might be saying, oh, well, that's stupid, people should be going outside anyways, people don't need an app, Pokemon Go is stupid, I don't think everyone should be doing that. You know, I kind of agree with you on that, but at the same time, you gotta respect the fact that this game pushed people out to do stuff like that. I'm going to be going to a few things as well too. I'm going to be going to a meetup at one point that is going to be a meetup of all 3 of the factions, Valor, Instinct, and Mystic. I'm also going to be going to a pub crawl at one point as well too, where we're going to be going out, collecting Pokemon, all that other stuff. And these are just things, well, I've made new friends with this game as well too. There are people at work, like one person in particular, I walked by him every day, walked by his desk, never had a reason to talk to him. He found out I played Pokemon Go once and he flagged me down, and every day, like, we go to each other's desks and we talk about Pokemon Go for 10 or 20 minutes and what we've done on there. And I mean, we talk about other things as well too, but that brought us together, and it is beautiful to see stuff like this. Even myself, man, like, I'll say this, like, the benefits that I've gotten from it are I'm walking a lot more. I'm walking almost 20,000 steps if it's a day where I decide to go out and play Pokemon Go. I've been out of the house a lot more. I've just felt better overall. I'm kind of losing weight right now, but it's even helping with that just because I'm walking so much. I've been able to work on my tan, and even just going out, getting the fresh air, getting some sun. Not gonna lie, I've had acne problems for a while, and I mean, they're still there, but my face has cleared up a good amount. So that's been nice as well too, just because, as I said, going outside, you get that nice refreshing air, you get the nice sunlight out there, and you know, you feel better. I mean, that's one of those things as well too, where humans are just social creatures. Yeah, there are people that don't really like social interactions, but even with that, it can help with brain development. It can help with multiple different things. And, you know, sometimes we do need our downtime, but other times we need to go outside. I classify myself as a social introvert. I like staying inside and doing things, but I also need people to talk to. And this works out great. And you're seeing people from all over the place. You're seeing little kids play it. You're seeing grown adults playing it. You're seeing grandmas and grandpas playing it. You're seeing thin people play it. You're seeing really fat people playing it. By the way, if you laugh at anyone like, dude, why are you gonna laugh at someone like that? You know who you should be laughing at? You should be laughing at the fat people who are staying inside, not trying to do anything about their weight, and they realize what's going on. Don't laugh at the people that are actually going outside and trying to make an effort and walk around. They're actually trying. Don't do that. Come on, man. That's not cool. That's like when you go to the gym and you decide to laugh at the fat person who can barely do anything on a machine. He's probably not experienced. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's weak, but at least he's making an effort. Make fun of the dude who's making no effort at all and realizes that he is at a health risk but won't do anything about it. Now, for my final thoughts on Pokemon Go, I think with the game itself and with the way it actually gets you to interact with people and go outside and do all that other stuff, It is excellent. I absolutely love it, and I cannot recommend it enough, especially for the low price of free. And all you need is a type of smart device that has outdoor internet capabilities and GPS capabilities on it. The best thing about this game too, which this will be my final thought on it, and I read this on Reddit somewhere, so I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but the reason why this game is so great is because all these other games, like these games I mentioned right here, they're all good games. I think they're all good in some way or another, but they require you to put your life on pause, and by that I mean I can't go outside. I can't interact with, a ton of other people. I have to sit down in my chair with a controller and play these games. Pokémon Go is not a game where you have to put your life on pause for. Even other mobile games such as Clash of Clans, you have to actually sit there, really pay attention for, quite a bit of time. Pokémon Go requires you to go outside, to walk around, to do all these other things, and to kind of casually have fun with it. And because of that, it requires you to have your life on play. So you continue your life and you play Pokémon Go alongside it. You don't put your life on halt just to play Pokémon Go, and that is the beautiful thing about it. And that is one reason why I also think with its simplicity, it's done so well compared to Ingress. I did play Ingress for a bit, and it was almost too overwhelming for me. Pokemon Go is not like that. It doesn't have the chat features. It doesn't have, hardcore control of regions or anything of the sort. And that is exactly what it needs to be. It just needs to be a kind of basic game, maybe adding a few more features here and there, but I'm liking it so far. Just please make it more stable, make it not burn up my phone on Android, and maybe fix up the server issues, and we'll see what's up. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. I'm gonna go catch me some Pokemon.